will today read Joshua chapter 22. In chapter 1 it was about the towns for the Levites, and we saw that from each tribe of Levi they had two cities for refugees. For refugees who killed someone, but they were not guilty. I mean, they killed by accident or something happened, and yeah, it was like a prison or something. Inside, not really a prison, but yeah, restricted cities. Okay, now let's see the chapter 22 to see what's next. Then Joshua summoned the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh, and said to them, "You have done all that Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded, and you have obeyed me in everything I commanded. For a long time now, to this very day, you have not deserted your brothers, but have carried out the mission the Lord your God gave you. Now that the Lord your God has given you your brothers rest as he promised, return to your homes, in the land that Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you on the other side of the Jordan." Was it the city, the territory conquered? Yeah, or not? It was departed for each tribe, and now it's their mission to do it. But be very careful to keep the commandment and the law that Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, to obey his commands, to hold fast to him, and to serve him with all your heart and all your soul. Then Joshua blessed them and sent them away. And they went to their homes, to the half tribe of Manasseh. Moses had given land in Bashan, and to the other half of the tribe Joshua gave land on the west side of the Jordan with their brothers. When Joshua sent them home, he blessed them, saying, "Return to your homes with your great wealth, with large herds of livestock, with silver, gold, bronze, and iron, and a great quantity of clothing, and divide with your brothers the plunder from your enemies." So maybe some of their brothers, they still stayed at home to protect their wives and the children. Or I don't know if they let their home just with wives and children and no one else there. So the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh left the Israelites at Shiloh in Canaan to return to Gilead, their own land, which they had acquired in accordance with the command of the Lord through Moses. When they came to Geliloth, near the Jordan in the land of Canaan, the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh built an imposing altar there by the Jordan. And when the Israelites heard that they had built the altar on the border of Canaan at Geliloth, near the Jordan, on the Israelite side, the whole assembly of Israel gathered at Shiloh to go to war against them. So the Israelites sent Phinehas, son of Eleazar. Phinehas, my name is Phinehas. But yeah, the priest, to the land of Gilead, to Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh. With him they sent 10 of the chief men. So, Phinehas. One of each of the tribes of Israel, each that the head of a family division among the Israelite clans. When they went to Gilead, to Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh, they said to them, "The whole assembly of the Lord says, how can you break faith with the God of Israel like this? How could you turn away from the Lord and build yourself an altar in rebellion against him now? Was not the sin of Peor enough for us? Up to this very day we have not cleansed ourselves from that sin, even though a plague fell on the community of the Lord. And are you now turning away from the Lord? If you rebel against the Lord today, tomorrow he will be angry with the whole community of Israel. If the land you possess is defiled, come over to the Lord's land where the Lord's tabernacle stands, and share the land with us. But do not rebel against the Lord or against us by building an altar for yourselves." Yeah, it was a sin to make another place that you can pray to the Lord. I mean, you could pray maybe everywhere, but to make an altar, it was a sin. I mean, only at the covenant ark, and I mean the Romanian, in the covenant ark and the tabernacle. Only there you could make sacrifices to the Lord, and it was just one only way, one only place. I think it was at Shiloh here, I think, and it remained at Shiloh until Solomon. And just even after that, not Solomon, until Samuel, and maybe even after that, until David, or we will see. But do not rebel against the Lord or against us by building an altar for yourselves other than the altar of the Lord our God. When Achan, son of Zerah, acted unfaithfully regarding the devoted things, did not wrath come upon the whole community of Israel? He was not the only one who died for his sin. So their conclusion is, if you make a sin, be aware that we will pay the price too. Because we are together. We are a people, a country. You are our brothers, and we are a family. And if one of us make a sin, our whole family is punished. Not just you. That means unity. Unity is not just for good, for greater things, but you can support the missing thing, the bad things, for the people who are involved in that unity too. Then Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh replied to the heads of the clans of Israel, "The mighty one God, the Lord, the mighty one God, the Lord, He knows. And let Israel know. If this has been in rebellion or disobedience to the Lord, do not spare us this day. If we have built our own altar to turn away from the Lord and to offer burnt offerings and grain offerings, or to sacrifice fellowship offerings on it, may the Lord Himself call us to account. No, we did it for fear that someday your descendants might say to ours, 'What do you have to do with the Lord, the God of Israel? The Lord has made the Jordan a boundary between us and you. You Reubenites and Gadites, you have no share in the Lord.' So your descendants might cause ours to stop fearing the Lord." But he was half of Manasseh here, there too. That is why we said, "Let us get ready and build an altar, but not for burnt offerings or sacrifices. On the contrary, it is to be a witness between us and you, and the generations that follow, that we will worship the Lord at this sanctuary with our burnt offerings, sacrifices, and fellowship offerings. Then in the future your descendants will not be able to say to ours, 'You have no share in the Lord.'" And we said, "If they ever say this to us or to our descendants, we will answer, 'Look at the replica of the Lord's altar, which our fathers built, not for burnt offerings and sacrifices, but as a witness between us and you.' Far be it from us to rebel against the Lord and turn away from Him today by building an altar for burnt offerings, grain offerings, and sacrifices, other than the altar of the Lord our God that stands before His tabernacle." So the sins of Israel in the future will be those altars too. Even if they thought, "Oh, it's for the Lord, we will pray to the Lord," but not in the presence of the tabernacle, not in the presence of the Ark of the Covenant, not in the presence of the Lord. And it was a fake pray, a fake, it was a lie. I mean, they thought, "Oh, I do something for the God. I pray to the God." But God was, those days was unlimited. The way through the Israelites and the God, it was the tabernacle and the Ark of the Covenant and all of those things. When Phinehas, the priest and the leaders of the community, the heads of the clans of the Israelites, heard what Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh had to say, they were pleased. And Phinehas, son of Eleazar the priest, said to Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh, "Today we know that the Lord is with us, because you have not acted unfaithfully toward the Lord in this matter. Now you have rescued the Israelites from the Lord's hand." They almost wanted to kill them. I mean, you did something against the Lord, so you must pay for it. If we do not react to this, we will be punished too. Then Phinehas, son of Eleazar the priest, and the leaders returned to Canaan from their meeting with the Reubenites and Gadites in Gilead and reported to the Israelites. They were glad to hear the report and praised God. And they talked no more about going to war against them to devastate the country where the Reubenites and the Gadites lived. And the Reubenites and the Gadites gave the altar this name, a witness between us that the Lord is God. Altar called witness between us that the Lord is God. That the Lord is God. Wow. That your leader, that your Lord is God. It's a very... I want to look in the Romanian too to see how they say there. Joshua chapter 23. Here is Ed. The sons of Reuben and the sons of Gad, they called the altar, that altar Ed, witness, because they said, he is the witness, between us, that the Lord is God. Yeah, but Ed, witness. Okay. Ed. Here it's not. It didn't say Ed. But okay. Yeah, that was the chapter. We saw very interesting thing. The Israelites thought that the Reuben, Gad, and half of Manasseh, they did something wrong because they built an altar, and they reacted immediately because they knew that if someone from Israel would sin against God, it's not just his sin. It depends on how big the sin is. It's not just, sometimes it's not just that person's sin, but that will affect the whole Israel. And the other community have lots of good things that you can become stronger, you can become greater, and more people. Yeah, but a unity. If it's not unity, and if someone, the stronger must cover the weakness ones, must protect the weakness ones. The richest must help the poorest ones, and the healthy ones to the sick ones, and so on. Each of the person fulfill to the other. That's the unity. And yeah, you must support. You must carry out the weight of your whole community. The good things is not something to carry on, but the bad things too. Carry on your shoulders. And it's not so easy, but it's worth it. If you have a plan, and if bigger than that, if it's the God plan, you must just trust in God, and don't look at the problem, how big it is. Don't look even at yourself, how weak you are, or how, oh, I'm strong or I'm weak, or no. even if you are strong, or you think, oh, I'm strong. No, 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 look at God. Because He is the strongest one, and believe in God. The target to be God always. The target of our eyes to be always God. And you will succeed. Okay, that was the chapter. May the God bless me, protect me, and delight me in the next chapter too. And if you want, you will see me there too. God bless you all, and goodbye.